So evening, my loves. Just beginning on your mat, wherever you're most comfortable, especially in this warm temperature at the moment. Just wherever feels best for you, lying down or seated. And just having a few moments to still ourselves. Do notice that when you do become still, then we can balance our temperature, especially if we've been buzzing about beforehand. Just letting yourself tune into your breath. Noticing how you're feeling this evening, whether you're feeling a little bit drained or whether you're okay. Just checking in with yourself. How does the breath feel? Does it feel deep, easy to breathe deeply, or a little bit shallow? So just observing without judgment. Relaxing. Just every time you breathe out, just seeing if there's another little area of your body you can relax. Even your face, around the forehead, eyes and cheeks. And just noticing your thoughts in the moment. So we'll have some quiet meditation time. If you're lying down, just bring the knees into chest for a little rock and a roll. Take your time, just feel into the body. If you're already seated, you might just want to roll the shoulders, roll the head. Just feel into the body so that you know that you're comfortable to come to a seated position. It's nice when we sit for 5 minutes or so to be comfortable on a meditation cushion, or maybe just sitting on the edge of a sofa cushion. Whatever feels right for you, so you don't slouch too much. And tonight, just because it's been a very hot day at the moment, we're just going to sit quietly, follow the breath. Let the mind wander, be curious as to how your mind jumps from thought to thought, where it goes. It's quite amusing when you stand back and try to observe your own mind. So we'll take 5 minutes of just quiet breathing. So letting everything relax. I always encourage you to just follow your breath, because that's always one way of staying in the moment. Notice when your mind wants to wander, come back to the breath. Notice when you do have a thought, what is it that is the first thought that takes you off? Notice where your thoughts are. So very gently, just coming back. How was your mind? Did it wander off quite a few times, or were you able to keep it steady on the breath? For me, I was actually thinking about the poses we were going to do today and how I've changed a few of them. So my mind was wandering this evening. Okay, so I was going to do a cocoon, but in fact, I think I'll change it to caterpillar. So what I wanted to do was bring the body into a forward motion. And this is just as nice. Doesn't involve the hips so much. So if you need a little blanket under the knees, that's always quite nice if you can't get your legs flat. Otherwise, we'll just explore leaning just gently into this forward fold so that we start to get a stretch through the whole back of our body, through the backs of our legs, back of our spine. So as you come into this, you probably feel quite tense in the legs. And as you start to just explore relaxing, your legs may roll out a little. And when we come into these poses, try to explore them over the 5 minutes we're here. Rather than just staying in the same pose, there's always usually a little bit of room to sort of move into after a minute or two, where you can sort of feel the stretch a little bit more each time. Relaxing, following the breath. Noticing if you're feeling it more in the backs of the legs today or through the back of your body. Is there a bit more room to move? Noticing your breath. Deep breaths so that you can feel the breath in the belly and into the back of your body. Is there a little bit more space to move into? Just explore. There may not be, that's fine. But you might just find that you've softened a bit. And if you do move further into the pose, just checking that you can relax again. So one more breath here. And gently coming up. As slowly as you come into it, it's nice to come out. And lying down. Noticing how it feels to roll your spine down to the mat. And then just stretch out. Take a nice sigh. It always feels good just to come out of these poses, relax and feel whatever you feel. Wag your tail, rock the pelvis if you need to just find a bit of comfort. And then start to relax. All through the back. How long is it taking you to relax as well? Enjoying some nice long and deep breaths. Are the sensations fading away? And then gently bring your right knee into chest and then your left knee. Enjoy a nice little rock here before we come up into seal pose. A pose to counter the forward fold. Come into a little back bend for our lower back. So onto your tummies. If you like to use a little cushion, it's quite nice. If your back is a bit tender at the moment, it just supports the belly and the chest. And then coming into this nice little back bend. Elbows can be under the shoulders. If you need to slide them out to come a bit lower, you can, and then just explore coming up into this pose over the time we're here. And relaxing the legs again. When you first come into this pose, you might find that your buttocks are clenched and there's a bit of tightness around the lower back that you can gradually let go as you breathe deeply to the belly. If you want to rest your forehead on a block, You can do. Just take the time to explore within your whole body how long it takes you to relax certain areas. Where areas recurringly tighten up. Does this pose feel good this evening? Especially if you take some really deep breaths into your belly, letting it expand like a big balloon. Really noticing that movement of breath into the lower back. You might find the exhales are slow and long. When you focus on your breath, do you notice that you relax a lot more? So one more breath. And gently coming out of this pose, nice and slowly. Being aware of your back and how slowly you need to move. Just come onto your back. So how does that feel? Having brought the body forwards and then backwards, especially the lower back. Which pose do you prefer? Or which after effect do you prefer? Or perhaps it's a combination of the two that you can find benefit in. So just following what you're feeling as things shift in your body, noticing any sensations linked with chi moving. And then we'll bring these into chest, one at a time, and have a little rock. So after coming forwards and backwards, we're going to come into a twist. Cat's tail. If this pose doesn't suit you, then just choosing another two-sided pose that you do like. Perhaps banana is quite a nice one. So we're going to start. I like to have a cushion with this particular pose. And we lie on the left-hand side, all in a line to start with. So your left leg is stacked on top of your right. And then we draw the left knee over in front of you, a bit like the recovery position, so it's supporting your body. And if you can, clasp your right foot with your left hand, so like you're grabbing a cat's tail, then that always gives a nice stretch to the quad muscle, but if you can't, it doesn't matter. And then from here, either cradling the head or using your cushion, just start to roll back. Coming into a twist that you can control. If after a while you don't want to hold on to your foot, that's always an option. You can let go. If you are holding, just a loose grip, and then relaxing the buttocks and lower back, all the tension you might initially hold there. So you can go into this as deeply or as shallow as you wish. If you need to be softer, just be a little bit more on your side rather than rolling back. And following your breath, nice deep breaths to the belly. Noticing all the parts of the body that move, perhaps a little bit more one side than the other. Keep relaxing, noticing areas that become tight again. And is there a little bit more room to move into this twist? Or are you happy where you are? So what are your thoughts at this moment? Just be the witness. So one more breath. Releasing your foot if you're holding on. Start to roll to your side, straighten out and then come onto your back. Just returning onto your back in whichever way feels right for you and comfortable for your spine. And again, relax. What's going on? What do you feel? Where do you feel it? I always find with twists, but that particular one, that you can really feel different sensations on both sides of your body. Relax. How long does it take to relax? Relax around your face and any areas in the head that you notice are tense. And then we'll bring these in. Rocking to ease any sensation. And then we'll come into the other side. So join me lying on the left-hand side now. Right leg comes over, right knee can rest on the mat, clasping hold of your foot. That is your left foot with your right hand this time, and then relaxing back into this twist. And relax. Relax as much as you can. Sometimes it feels strange to say that when we're in a little bit of a bind, but there are areas of our body we can. Just let go and soften. Can you feel tightness in your lower back? And is there a way to let that go? Relax the buttocks, sides of the waist. Deep breaths. Really enjoy where the flow of breath moves in your body. Does it feel the same as the other side, or is it quite different? How does your head, how does your head and your neck feel? Are they tense in any way? So good for the digestive system. And lovely for your gallbladder. Just take a few more breaths here. And then very gently releasing your foot. Coming back onto your side so that you bring some alignment to your spine first. And then coming onto your back. Keep your cushion handy, because we will come into bench for our next pose, which is a nice posture for the upper part of the back, the thoracic spine, where we came into caterpillar for the lower body. Bench is lovely for your upper back. So even as you relax here, just noticing where it's taking longer to let go. But does it feel a little more balanced in your body now that you've done both sides? Nice and refreshing perhaps around your solar plexus above your navel, which is what we're targeting. It is a chakra that is affected with twists. So when you're ready, hug your knees in. Enjoy a gentle rock. Roll on your back if you want to. Nice little reset. And then just rolling up gently so that you can pop your cushion behind you. A good 3 or 4 inches away from your body, so that when you do lie back, it's not your lumbar spine that curves, it's your thoracic, it's the upper part of your back that feels more of the curve. And then when you relax your head back, just make sure that your neck feels comfortable and that it feels supported. Otherwise, using a little rolled towel tucked under the neck can be beneficial. And again, just take a nice long sigh and relax. Let your legs rest out to the side if that feels nice. The arms can be wherever they want to be. And just enjoy this nice stretch into the chest and shoulders and curve into the upper back. You might want to follow your breath here, feeling the abdomen rise and fall, the chest expand and contract. So how do you feel in this pose? Is it feeling supportive emotionally, physically? It does lend itself to balancing your heart center and your throat. So if you do have difficulty expressing yourself, if that is a little bit of a trait of you. Anything where you're moving, working the neck will help balance this chakra, Vishuddhi. Is your breath still deep, or has it changed to become a bit more shallow? Is this a pose you could stay in for longer? Just relaxing, following your thoughts, where they wander in the mind. Just following your thoughts still. Noticing if you were even aware of that last thought that you were having. And then when you're ready, we'll take a breath. Gently lifting up, lift the head first. Use your body to support you as you gently come out of the pose and come back down to your mat. It always amazes me when we have the quiet time in the poses where the mind does wander. I'm sure all of our minds wander. And it's just noticing who's in the driving seat in those moments. Now and then you'll come back to thinking of what you're thinking about, and then that consciousness comes back. But it's so easy for it to drift off and we're quite unaware. I think often thoughts can be very much like Chinese whispers. You start with one thing and then it jumps to another that's related, and then completely another thing that's kind of related. And then when you think about what you're finally thinking about and where you started, they can be poles apart. And it's just being really curious if you can follow that, or at least retrace your steps later on. So gently bring knees in. And then we're going to come into our last pose, waterfall tonight. A nice restful inversion after moving the body in all directions. So with your cushion, just pop it behind the buttocks, just lift up gently, wedge it underneath so that you can be nice and stable and comfortable. And if you wish, you can have a little blanket over your feet, but in this heat you may not need it. Just let your eyes relax, closing them if that feels good. And then just drawing your internal vision to your third eye. You can have a nice gentle bend in the knee. The legs don't have to be straight. And again, just follow the breath, be present. Just now and then, draw your mind back to the breath. Just be aware that you're in that conscious gap between unconscious thoughts. Consciously aware that you are thinking about what you're thinking about. Aware of the sensations you feel in your body, the gentleness of the breath. Such a lovely, gentle pose, this waterfall. And lovely if you do suffer with swollen ankles, fluid retention. If you have heart problems, this is quite a nice one. So let's just take a few more breaths, noticing the lasting sensations in this pose. Even though there is an element of the legs raised and a bit of control, you can still be pretty relaxed. So gently just lower the feet, bend your knees. Pause here for a moment if that feels good. And then pulling the cushion away so that you can come into Shavasana. Just find a neutral spine and have a few moments here. Observing wherever there's a bit of tightness still, where there's areas you can relax. How does your body feel now from when you started? And then we'll come into relaxation now. So if you want to just bring these in for a little rock and a roll. Choosing if you want to come up to seated or stay lying down. And just making sure you're comfortable in whichever position you choose. So I'm just going to read you a nice little meditation here called The Flight of a Seagull. Allow your body to let go. Feel completely relaxed. And imagine you are lying on a bed of warm, soft sand. The body is moulded into the sand, every part of your body completely relaxed. You feel warm, comfortable, and free. Feel as though you are sinking down deep into the sand, and the whole of the body is releasing and relaxing. Feel the sand beneath your hands, the softness, the warmth, the ease. You are able to open your eyes and look up into the deep blue cloudless sky. And the sky goes on forever. The blue of the sky meets the blue on the horizon. Where it joins the sky and the ocean, they meet together. All around you, surrounding you, is the blue of the sky and the blue of the sea. The sea is endless and a vast amount of water. The sea is calm, peaceful, still and silent. All you are aware of is the odd seagull diving into the clear blue sea. Feel the warmth of the sun on your face, the warmth of the sand supporting your body, and be aware of a feeling completely relaxed and at ease. You feel as though you are floating, suspended, lifting, moving upwards towards the sky, towards the seagull. Imagine you are this seagull, gently floating over the tops of the foam, tasting the sea salt, feeling the air under your arms, flying high. Allowing your arms to become wings, giving you the freedom in the chest center and the freedom to fly, to soar high, higher, and now you are free. You fly near to the land, keeping close to the cliff edge, darting back out to sea, soaring up into the sky, darting down with ease. The warm thermal breeze keeps you adrift. It helps you to drift and rest. Drifting and resting. Just be aware of this drifting. Soon you find yourself slowing down and stop for a while near the rocks on the seashore. You observe the rock pools, the sea life, and the incoming tide. Seeing the salt water washing over all the little rocks and seaweed. Seeing certain seaweed, how it's just dried and crisp. It's all waiting for the turn of the tide. Slowly now the tide begins to turn, bringing back fresh supplies of food, life force and energy. The slow in and out of the waves trickling into the rock pools, moving over the tired, dried out seaweed, moving up to the seashore, bringing the flotsam, different types of seaweed, shells and pebbles, bits of driftwood, and just completing the whole cycle again with each tide. Flying backwards and forwards has tired you out, and now you feel the need to rest for a while. Drifting down once again, you feel your wings lose the power. Feel your arms back down by your side, comfortable on the warm sand, and staying here for a while, gently bringing the body back from this visualization, but just resting here. Being aware that in this visualization you are flying upwards, feeling free, how that feels mentally and physically. So just have a few more minutes of just being peaceful and tranquil. So very gently now, just noticing where your mind and thoughts were. Starting to wiggle fingers and toes. Noticing your breath. How do you feel on all levels? And then just starting to just gently move. If you're lying back, you can have a stretch and then draw knees in. If you're already seated, it's always nice to roll the shoulders and roll the head. little flex into the body. And then when you've come up to seated, we can bring our hands together. Om Shanti. Namaste.